Hi everyone, as many of you would know, I'm working on a series for making a suit of German Gothic armor for beginners with free tutorials and free templates. I was originally going to complete the breast and back plate before releasing the templates, but it's taking a bit longer because my free time is very limited. Hashtag dad life. Yeah. So I figured, since I've had a few people contact me asking for more help, I'm gonna just skip for now. I will be finishing off the tutorials, but I want to release the free templates early. So I'm going to be posting them to a Facebook group, because I will be posting them to a Facebook group that I've started, because Facebook will let me host PDF files for free. So, and if any of you want to add your own armor templates you've come up with, you are more than welcome to add them to the group as well. And if you need any extra help with your armor or having these templates explained, feel free to leave a comment or contact me on Iron Adrian Watson on Instagram. So I just want to give you a quick little bit of extra information to go along with these templates. Now, when you make these templates, before you cut them out of steel, you really should make them in cardboard first and try and see if they fit your body, because these templates need to be shaped and fitted to you as an individual. This is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Now, there is a bit of wiggle room with how much you curve things and how, the overall three-dimensional shape you give it, but really you want to try this out in cardboard first. Now, if you use corrugated cardboard, like cardboard boxes are made out of, you can actually dish that slightly in a dishing stump, and it'll get you even closer to what you would have with just dishing the steel. Again, this entire project is intended to be done with just dishing, no hot raising. So we've sacrificed a little bit of historical accuracy in the breastplate in order to avoid having to hot raise stuff, but unless you're a real armor nerd, you're probably not going to notice. But at least it still has plenty of depth to it. But we've been all over that before in the tutorials. So, just start with showing you some things you might want to know about these templates. I've added on the amount that you leave on for a rolled edge. You can add or minus that amount. Wherever I've just traced out a rolled edge, that's kind of just a rough estimate. You can make larger rolls, you can make smaller rolls. It's just important to know that when you're fitting it, that there's going to be a bit more coming off when you roll it, but if it's comfortable with that little bit extra on, it should be comfortable without it. You can do a template without the extra for a rolled edge, and then add more when you're cutting it down your steel, but I'll let you decide for yourself. Of course, I've marked them out. There's a bit extra there to be rolled, bit there that gets overlapped. I haven't been marking out how much is overlapped on all of the pieces, but I just figured for that center upper back piece might be a bit important. Now, I've transferred my templates over to A4 so that you can print it out, but obviously these pieces are bigger than an A4. So as you can see, there's extra lines on the templates, and basically what you want to do is, so what you need to do is after you've printed them out, it's just a matter of lining them up, correct about overlap. You can then tape them together. Then once you've got the whole piece, you can cut that out gently, trace that out onto a bigger piece of cardboard, and probably make sure that it's still symmetrical, because when we're trying to piece things together like this, things can get a little bit off. A few degrees of wonkiness can really come back and be a real pain later on. So that's why I've added center lines to them. So yeah, just overlap them, tape them together, cut them out. And, yeah, it should be pretty self-explanatory, all of that. What's maybe a little bit less self-explanatory is I've labelled lines on these flare-out lines. Yeah, that's where you kind of just put turned out, you bend out the piece for the center lane to create the waist effect. Yeah, just marked it out on the template, just for references and sizes. So yeah, that's why you want that at your natural waist, and well, you've seen the tutorials, you know what it's for. I have, however, added a little bit of extra, just because I've been having a few gapping issues at the middle of the folds on the back and the front. If I do it again, I'm going to add a little bit more. So instead of showing you exactly what I did for the one I'm currently working on, I added a bit of extra to the template, so hopefully you don't have that issue. You can add that little bit of a bit sticking out. You can leave it off if you really want to, but I'm just next time I do one of these, I'm adding that little bit, and when I do a breastplate to go with that backplate, I'm adding a little bit to that too. As for on the lames, I've labelled something called a rivet line and extra overlap. Now, that where the arrows are is not where you're going to be putting a rivet. That's just a line of where you want to line up the inner hole for the rivet on the inside lane. Why it's so much further away from the edge than most of my other ones is because when the rivet's in a bit, it kind of causes like this scissoring sort of effect. So that bit of extra overlap, as it's labelled, is there so that when the fold articulates up, it's not gapping at the sides. So we're adding a bit more material. So yeah, so when it's flat, all of them, yeah, this is a totally different style of armor, but I'm just using it as an example. So when it's like just in a normal so when it's just normal, they'll be 2 inches apart. But as you fold, as it compresses, you don't want it to kind of just open up a gap at the side, and keeps it even all the way along. Now on the breastplate, on the inner lane, when you're riveting the overlap, I've marked out, you'll see rivet line zone. Now the idea with that is essentially the inner rivet should realistically be along the center line, somewhere between those points, with however much curvature you want to give to the breastplate, depending on making it fit you. If it's that high, it'll be relatively flat, and the further down it gets, the more curvature it's going to have, because there's going to be less overlap. But if you go too low, the amount of overlap between the lanes gets really small. You definitely don't want any gapping. But essentially, yeah, if you want more overlap, it'll be a bit flatter. If you want less overlap, it'll be a bit more curved. Just get it right for the amount of curve you want to fit your body. And yeah, it's yeah, so it's not like set in stone how far up it has to be, so there's a bit of wiggle room for that. In fact, I might even try that with a sliding rivet one day. And so yeah, I've already got a breastplate tutorial out, which while this is an improved template, and I've removed the segmented, like articulated arm cutouts. I've ditched them. I've added some spiky bits. I think I've kind of improved the shaping to it. But yeah, that breastplate tutorial is basically the same way you would use these templates. The backplate, I've already got one part out. I've got another part filmed. I don't know how many more parts of the Gothic backplate series there are going to be, but hopefully start getting them out soon. The bulk of it's sort of done, and filmed, but you know, I want to get these templates out to help people get started early if they want to. Now, on like breastplate, what was it? 5, 6, 7. I basically used the same one, but there's separate peaks. Each time you cut out one of those lames, you go lame 5, lame 6, lame 7. Essentially, because the lames are virtually identical, it's just that little peak where you put a rivet in line with it there moves out on each lane going down, so that when you cut it out and make it, the rivets are in line. If you just had them all the same template, they'd kind of like move inwards and it would look weird. So by making them flare out, it actually makes them all in a line. You know what? When you cut it out in cardboard, you'll see what I mean. And I had a few issues with the height of the point, the center point last time I made this. So I've left on how big the old point was. It was ½ inch. Next time I do it, I'm going to be doing 1/4 inch. And so I've added that in. So you can pick which one you would want to use. I'm going to recommend the 1/4 inch high point. Yeah, because it was just causing problems the other way around. And so yeah, I will have links in the description. All of these templates are going to be free. And you know what? If you have any trouble, or you need any more advice, or you get stuck on an issue with making these templates, please feel free to leave a comment or contact me on Instagram. These are going to be free, but if you want to help me, of course leave a comment and a like on this video. Share it around to any groups like LARP groups or reenactment groups that might be, or groups that would be interested to this. But if you do build one of these pieces of armor that I'm putting out the tutorial and template for, could you please send me a picture on Instagram? Just, you know, make a post on it, let me see it. I would love to see all of you guys work, and yeah, you know, it would make me very happy to know that I'd helped a few people. I've already had a few people contact me. And you know, if people really like this and I end up helping people, then I'll keep doing it. But if nobody's gonna, you know, but if nobody's gonna be using these templates or tutorials, then I'm not gonna. Then there's no point making them. But if people want tutorials and templates, just show me what you're working on. I'd love to see it, and it'll keep me motivated. Alright everyone, see yous.